I was feeling it today, so I figured I'd do one today. That's what I figured. Let me see how I can adjust this. Okay, that's how I do it. All right. Give you guys a minute to get in here and we'll get started. Welcome. If you guys catch the video later, no problem, no problem. Let me turn it this way. There we go. All right, I'm getting used to this phone lives. Phone lives are really anyway. I'm getting used to it though. The phone is good sometimes. The phone is good. Welcome if you're coming in if you're coming in. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Today, I am going to finally share with you what I do, SMD does, because a lot of people come to this channel. Oh, first, let me introduce myself. My name is LJ Young. I am the founder of SMD, Savings Minus Debt. And I'm here to share my gift. My gift is that I know a mathematical fact, okay? My gift is that I know a mathematical fact. Capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. This is a mathematical fact. And the reason why I say I started with mathematical fact because math is always true. If you put it this way, if you disagree with what I'm saying, that means you're disagreeing with math. That's why I always say it's a mathematical fact. So with this mathematical fact, this is what I do for people. I can finally put it in words because it was really difficult for me to put in words. I help people find the price. No, I show people where to find the price to own themselves in the United States of America. That's what I do. Okay. I help people, show people, locate the price, the cost it's going to own the business of themselves in the United States of America. Okay, that's what I do. Now, most of you come across and hear me say that, you're like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? This is what you do. You go onto your credit reports, log into any one of them, go to all three. Pick which one has the highest amount of debt. Okay, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about the credit score. Just pick the one with the highest amount of debt. Write that down on a piece of paper. That's how much it costs. That's how much it's going to cost for you to own the business of yourself in the United States of America. Okay. Now remember, these are mathematical facts I'm sharing with you. So if you don't believe it, that means you don't trust the calculator. It's not me. It's you. Okay. Once you trust math and say, okay, this is true, what he's saying, you will understand that your credit report are really your debt slave papers. There's a psychological place called the debt matrix. And this is where all the people live that believe they can own with no money of their own. People that believe they can buy houses with mortgages, cars with car loans, invest in retirement plans while having student loan debt and mortgages. And well, none of that is mathematically true. So those are all the people that live in the debt matrix, okay? Inside the debt matrix, your credit reports keep track of all your owners because all of those people on your credit report own you. They all own a piece of you, okay? Inside the debt matrix, but the whole time, the debt slaves are believing they own something, okay? So that's what it is, right? So once you understand how that works, and you trust the math, you trust the calculator, right? Once you just I know it sounds weird, but that's how it works, okay? Once you trust the calculator and understand what I'm saying, and then you come to, I teach you the same exact capitalist system that you're in today, right now, but I will bring you from the negative side to the positive side, okay? Because it's a difference. On the positive side, people here understand you cannot buy a house with a mortgage. You can't buy cars with car loans. You can't invest into your retirement plan with your student loan debt older than the retirement plan. None of that is mathematically true. You don't think the Jewish people are smarter in money. You don't think the Chinese are smarter in money. You don't think stuff like that. You just say, all those people just trust math more than other groups do. Who knows? I don't know, but it's just math. Nobody owns math, right? I teach you how to live on the positive side of the economy. On the positive side of the economy, we know that the debt slaves, they all have to ask the bank permission to buy anything. To buy a house, car, cell phone, buy some gas, whatever. I bring you to the positive side. You understand that the banks really control everything, business and personal. They own all those people. You understand that's just what it is. It's nothing personal, because remember, this is how, if you come to the positive side, I'm going to keep you from feeling bad or sad or whatever, right? They are choosing not to trust the calculator. They're choosing it. If you open up the calculator and put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and you look at the calculator and you see a large negative number and you still believe you own something, you are choosing that. The calculator is clearly saying you don't own anything by a large negative number. They taught us all this in elementary school. The number line, 0 in the middle, positive numbers in green, negative numbers in red. If you see that large negative number after putting in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, you take that negative number, you clearly see it's on the red, way deep down there, way down there, way down there. That means you don't own anything. But on the positive side, say like you're a realtor, okay? I just want you guys to understand something, how it will change you. Say like you're in a realty game, right? It's all about energy. A person looking for a house, they will feel a seller that is not under pressure of debt and payments and all this other stuff. Because when you're on the positive side, you don't have all that energy rolling off. Oh, I got to get this sale. Come on, you guys, you better sign. You don't do all that. That energy transfers to the customers, right? They're like, hey, when I went to this realtor, they didn't put that pressure on me to buy today. You know, because some people just want to look at different houses without feeling pressure to buy one, right? When you're a person, a realtor, and you're not in debt, you automatically don't put that pressure on them because it doesn't exist. You don't have it. That will gain you more customers because they don't want to feel like that. Those are like unspoken energies that happen. They'll come across you as a realtor and they'll be like, damn, they didn't pressure me and call me 50,000 times to sign up to do this and that. No, you do, you don't, you don't. It's not a big deal. You will, as a realtor, this is just an example, you will pass all your peers who are in debt. They don't know it. It doesn't matter on what it looks like on the outside, okay? Don't look at how many sales they got and cars. They might be good salespeople, but we're talking about debt, okay? You will surpass all of your peers and they won't even know how you're doing it. This is what I do for people. Especially goes in for business. Like, say like you are a tax professional right now, which I am not. I'm not a tax professional of nothing. Okay, just make sure that's clear. But say like you are, but you're in debt. I'm especially talking to the tax people. You are a professional tax person, but you've been in personal debt all your life. I'm gonna tell you something. You are missing a ginormous piece of how taxes work. Ginormous. The reason why I stress tax people, because that's the backbone of the whole thing. It's the backbone of the whole system. And if you've been in personal debt all your life as a tax professional, tax lawyer, business tax attorney, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. and you've been in personal debt all your life, you're missing a huge, ginormous piece of how taxes work. I guarantee you 100%. When you come to the positive side, taxes are your friend. Taxes, you cannot become wealthy without understanding how they work. Taxes are the law. Do you understand? If you're a person walking around here believing you're going to become wealthy and rich and you don't even understand how taxes work, no, you're not. No, you're not. Not here, you're not. Listen, the rules are clear. They're clear. Don't mess with taxes or you go to prison. What does that tell you? Listen, you didn't hurt nobody. You didn't kill nobody. You didn't do anything, but you can go to prison for a crazy amount of years. Are you listening? Instead of saying, oh my God, that's crazy. You can go to prison for so, why don't you just say, why is that? Think about it. Why do I go to prison for so long without hurting anybody? Because that's the backbone you're messing with. That's why. Just because you don't understand them and you hate them and this and that, that's your problem. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. You're not doing anything about it. Leave. You're going to leave the United States of America. I think that's your only choice. You could be listen, tax people, accounting, business people, lawyers, especially like, I'm talking to the agents that look for the tax. Do you guys know they have their choice of you guys? Man, you guys all have a pattern too. It's crazy. When you're, here, let me see how I can put it. Say like you're a person cheating on your taxes, okay? You cannot work without your social security number. Just listen, okay? You cannot work without your social security number. And if you're cheating on your taxes, that means you don't understand them. That's why you're cheating. And let me tell you something, math never lies. So this is what blows my mind to me when I see this, when I see these like commercials. Say like somebody got in trouble for tax evasion or some kind of tax fraud, and then they get a lawyer. I say to myself, what is a lawyer going to do? A lawyer cannot change mathematics. Nobody can. So I'm thinking, what is a lawyer going to do? Less years or something? I don't even get it. Math never lies. Math will say if you actually made a error on your taxes, you did something wrong. It's pretty clear. It's not really rocket science, but math also clearly says when you're cheating and lying. You could say like you own a business and you're trying to say like you have 10 people in your business, okay? 10 workers, 10 employees, and somebody's stealing money, okay? This is all you have to do if you want to start narrowing down who it might be. All you have to do is ask to see each and every one of their personal credit reports. Hey, let me see all your personal credit reports. It will narrow it down so fast of who is likely the person stealing the money. No, for you guys, people thinking, oh, what's a credit score you're going to take? No, I'm not talking about a credit score. Let me explain it to you so you guys can understand. A liar, a cheater, a financial scammer, whatever, your credit report, if this is you, your credit report will tell me it's you because the first person you practice on scamming is yourself. So first you abuse yourself first, and your credit report is going to show me that immediately. Because people's personal credit reports that don't do financial scams and stuff, nothing's on their credit report to reflect that. You understand? So as a business owner, which I'm sure you run into this problem all the time of embezzlement, and you can't figure out who it is, it's not really difficult to find that person. Understanding this knowledge helps you in so many ways because listen, people that let's like PPP. Let me give you an example of PPP fraud. Okay, only a person. Now listen closely. Only a person that doesn't understand how it works would trade the time in their life for money. Do you understand? Only a person that does not understand this does that. So people that do PPP fraud, they obviously do not know what that means. This is what it means. Now, as soon as you press enter, the money's irrelevant, okay? I want you guys to understand something. The money's totally irrelevant. As soon as you press enter, they're not hiding anything from you. They say, hey, if you commit fraud, I'm gonna just tell you a different way. You commit fraud, we own you forever, for life, because it's federal. So you press enter. If you press enter and you falsify this PPP loan stuff, whatever, we now own you. Do you understand? People on the positive side would never trade, never in a million years do that, in a million years. Give up my freedom for no, absolutely not. Not for a penny. But people that don't know that, you guys do. So now, all of you guys that are listening that did commit PPP fraud and they haven't caught up with you yet, and you might think you got away with it, listen, it doesn't matter anymore. That doesn't matter. Consider yourself owned. Do you understand? You're owned now at their choosing. Anytime they just push a button. I'm looking for the people that are inside the debt matrix. They know something's going wrong, and they're like, they see the people doing the PPP fraud and say, "Whoa, that's stupid. Why would they do that? Isn't it? That's dumb." They know that. No, they don't. That's why they're doing it. I'm looking for you guys because I need you guys to understand that they don't know that because they're doing it. You gotta speak. You gotta think about it in the obvious way. Listen. If a person in the debt matrix commits PPP fraud knowingly, that means they don't know because they did it. I know that when they offer PPP loans and I don't have a business or anything like that, that means I don't apply at all because I know I don't have a business. That's what that means. I understand that. They don't have to, I don't have to read the rules of the PPP stuff and what it qualifies. I already know I don't qualify because I don't have a business to do it. Or people or equipment or whatever. I already know that. So that leaves the people that do not know that. But you guys don't understand the bigger picture. You are owned. Before, you were just mental debt slaves. Now you're physical slaves. Do you understand? Physically. You are now property of the government whenever they choose to pick you up. Do you understand? You signed on the dotted line. You purposely sold yourself to them. Do you understand what you did? You don't because you did it. And, you know, I feel sorry for the young people that got caught up in that nonsense. Listening to the older people that already effed up their lives and knowing that you're brand new to earth, they just used you. Now you're going to be stamped in the very beginning of your adult life. It doesn't mean that your life is over. It's just going to mean it's going to be harder. That's what it's going to be. And you don't even know that yet. You're probably 18, 19 years old. You don't even know yet. You come see me, it's still not too late. If this is you, and I'm talking directly to you, and you're young and you got stamped early, it's not over. You can come to the positive side still. You paid your debt to society. You're never going to do it again. Come on over. But if you're still thinking you're going to dibble and dabble, those people can't come here. You stay there. Do you understand? You stay in there. You can't lie about your personal credit report. So if you come to me and say, hey, LJ, I'm ready to understand, the first thing I'm going to do is ask to see your personal credit report because I know you have no access to it at all. It's going to tell me everything. It doesn't matter. Listen, when you come to the positive side and understand this, people, it doesn't matter what kind of car they drive. If they're making payments, it's not theirs. The housing market wouldn't exist if they didn't believe you could buy houses with mortgages. Do you understand? So they must believe that. That's a choice. If say like you're a young person right now inside of maybe you're going to college for taxes, okay? This is all I want you to, you are young enough still to remember your elementary school math teacher when they taught you about the number line. That's all you need to understand. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to understand. You take the school knowledge because you need that to get licenses and stuff in states and requirements. You got to play along with the rules. Hey, do whatever they say, whatever. Get all the licenses, make sure they're up to date. They will know that you know something the way you'll move inside of the system. They'll know somebody's been talking to you. I promise you that. You'll start a firm, then you'll teach those people in your firm. You'll be the best firm in the United States of America, just like that. Just like that. Just like that. You want to be a detective to catch some people doing some financial fraud shit? That's easy. Easy. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Why would it be a piece of cake, LJ? Because only people that commit crimes that they can lose the time in their life for money, they have a pattern. Do you understand? They have a pattern because they're doing it for the money. Listen. Only people would ever to trade paper for something that's only given to me by God. Are you crazy? Absolutely not. No. Mm-mm. I imagine how many tax professionals, and this is a fact, I'm gonna tell you guys a fact. When you submit your taxes to some of these businesses and people and stuff like that, they can tell if you're lying easily with math. I'm gonna just warn you, okay? Just so you understand, it's easy to tell if you're lying. I wonder how many fudge the numbers, make it look one way when it's not that way, just because they're in debt and they need your money to survive or keep their business going. If you're a tax professional, right? It's like you've just been doing it for years, you're pretty much owned too. You just don't know it yet. You're owned too. Right now, today, you're owned. I promise you that. It's so obvious too. It's obvious. Once you when you first if you finally accept that your credit report are your debt slave papers, you realize the only way you're going to be free is you got to pay off all that debt or get rid of it. Something, how you going to do it? Make sure it's legal. get rid of it. And then once you get to zero, and if you've been in debt all your life, you're not going to know what to do. This is where I come in to help you. I'll just take your hand and just show you the way. Help you skip over all the steps that I had to learn by myself with no help from anybody. Nobody told me or shared this anybody. It took me years to even be able to put it in words to you guys like this. It took me years. Let me read some of these comments. Let me see. What's up, Christopher? Orlando? How doing? What would you do if you had an emergency home repair like needed electrical work for $900 but only had $1,000 emergency fund? What would you do to repair the house? First of all, does this house have a mortgage? That's my first question. Is this a mortgage-free house or a house with a mortgage? Let me hear that one first. Let's see. Agents do put their money together, though doesn't that make a difference? That's a good question. This is when you can see now, this is what I can see. Yes, they do that. They keep it, they make it filter through themselves, through their own combined businesses first, and then give whatever's left to the government, right? But you got to understand something. All they're doing is trusting math. Okay? There's nothing more than that. It's not because they're Asian. It has nothing to do. They put it this way. The best way to say that, probably more Asians, this even sounds funny. I'm sure Asians are going to laugh at me when I say this. More Asians trust math when they're counting their money. When they're doing their finances, they just trust math. And if you open up a business and it's an Asian business and they're all related, they just open up a business, buy the stuff from their Asian counterparts in the business, and it just stays in here until the year says, hey, the government says, okay, where's our piece? And then they just give them whatever. That's it. It's clear that, listen, I'm just going to show you guys facts. It's clear that African Americans are not like Asians when it comes to business. You see Chinatown, Hong Kong, in major cities. Do you see that? No, it's just what it is. When I think about that now, when I think about big Hong Kong places, Asian markets in every single big city, you know what I say to myself? I got it. You guys, that's a statement. You guys understand that? Those are statements. We understand how it works. Got it. I got it. Okay, I got it, Asians. Got it. They're killing the game. Coming up, you guys understand. Business. I got it. Understood. Got it. I'm telling you. Nothing to do with the color of their skin, none of that stuff. They just trust math. Duh. That's what they would probably say. Duh. Obviously, everybody doesn't do that. They're owning their stuff, people. Do you guys understand? They own their stuff. Most of them know you never to finance like a car. Never finance a depreciating object with interest. Why would you do that? Like when you go to a car lot, listen, this is what you guys can't see. I'm gonna say it in positive words. When you go to a car lot, right? Say like the sticker price says 50,000. We're gonna just keep even numbers. 50,000. It's 50,000 that day. That's how much that car is worth now only. And it's never going to be more than 50,000. After you buy that car for 50,000, it's going to go down from there. But if you walk on the car lot and finance it for 72 months, it's going down in value and up in interest rate for you. Never finance a depreciating object with interest ever. Don't ever do that. They probably know that. When you guys look up, when you finance a car, listen closely, okay? And I'm saying it slow, not to say you're slow. I just want you to understand something. When you say like you're ready to sell your car and you have a car loan on it, right? The first thing you do is look up a Kelley Blue Book value and see how much the car is worth and blah, blah, blah. Kelley Blue Book is only for people that paid cash for that car. When it's time for you to sell that car, the only person, the only business that knows the Kelley Blue Book for your car is the bank. Do you understand? That's how much the car is worth to you. Your Kelley Blue Book is the bank, not online. Kelley Blue Book is for people who pay cash for cars. Do you understand? Because when you guys finance cars, so the reason why you're financing a car is because you can't buy it because you have no money to buy it. So if you don't have any money for the car, you don't have any money for the taxes. So you're financing the car and the taxes at your bank's interest rate. Now, say like I'm a car salesman that understands capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. I understand that if I own a car lot, I would not be in business if the banks didn't give car loans. Do you understand? No, every car lot you guys see, if the bank said, no, we're not financing cars anymore, everybody's out of business. Do you understand? So what does that mean? The banks control everything. So that's how it works. That's why they're calling all over. If you got horrible credit and collections, that's why you're there so long at the car lot, because they're trying to find somebody that will take you. That's why you're there for so long. But if you're a car salesman with this knowledge, you just got to learn how to talk to people and have great relationship with banks and stuff like that, and you'll make a killing. Christopher, it's a low payment, but mortgage, I know you don't like. No, listen, I want you to listen to how I'm saying it, Christopher, because I don't want you to think I'm talking down to you or something that people take it wrong. Listen, if you got getting a mortgage means you could not afford to buy the house. That automatically means you did not have the money to buy it. If you did not have the money to buy the house, you automatically don't have the money to fix it. I'm not even saying anything. I know I'm not saying nothing fancy. Like, listen, I walk down the street, I see a house for 400,000. I log into my bank account, I don't see 400,000. What does that mean? I can't buy the house. Then I just walk away. But if I go down the street and see a house for 400,000, log in my bank account and clearly see I don't have 400,000, that means I have to go to the bank to ask permission to see if they could buy it for me, because I don't have the money to buy it today. The bank says, sure, but you got to pay us back in payments. That's how I'm not even saying nothing fancy. And you say, okay, even though it takes one day to buy a house, they convince you it take years. I don't know how the bank did that, how long it took them to do that, but that's pretty amazing to me. And you say, okay, I believe it takes 30 years to buy one house. Okay. And then you get the house and then repairs happen and you wonder why you don't have the money to fix it. It doesn't even make any sense. You're like, because you didn't have the money to buy the house? If you have a mortgage, the reason why you can't afford anything because you couldn't afford to buy the house, but it's a psychological thing. You don't know that. A mortgage can't buy a house. Mortgages buy people. Without you in it, the house is worthless. Do you understand? It doesn't do anything, doesn't generate any money until you get in it. You come to the positive side, you sell people houses with mortgages, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be in business. Do you understand? They have to ask the bank to buy everything. Do you understand that? As long as you can comprehend that and truly understand that, you're like, oh, so the bank really control business and their personal life. Yes, everything. Everything. I accept that. Ain't no big deal. It was here. Listen, it was here before I was born. I'm not coming to disrupt anything. I'm just helping participate in it positively instead of negatively. What's up, Eclectic Agitator? How you doing, sir? What's up, Nick? Own is the only way to say it's yours. That's true. All you gotta do is repeat it to yourself. It don't even make it. It really is simple. Everything is simple. Everything. What's up, Cosmic? I help people locate the price it's going to cost to own themselves in the United States of America. That's what I do. Go to all three of your credit reports, pick the highest amount of debt and write it down on a piece of paper because most likely that's the one. If you choose to see that large negative number and say that's dumb or stupid or whatever, this mathematical fact is dumb or stupid, whatever, we just part ways. We never talk about it again. You and I, at least, we don't have to talk about it because I'm here to help people change their lives, become rich, wealthy, whatever you want to be. But I'm not here to convince anybody of the calculator. I want to make sure that's clear. If you don't believe the calculator, there's a whole bunch of other YouTube channels of finance people that also don't believe the calculator. There's millions of them. Go choose one. They will tell you can buy things with no money. That is the channel that you're probably looking for. The ones that tell you can buy with no money down, no money. That you can't buy anything with no money. Are you crazy? They're only talking to the people that believe that. And if that's you, you need to go find that channel. There's millions of them out there. You can do this with credit. You can do this with student loan debt. You still can save. You still can save for retirement while having student loan debt older than the retirement plan. No, you can't. You can't do that. You cannot do that. That's not true. That's not true. Listen, that's not true. You can't do that. It doesn't take 84 months to buy one car, by the way. That's not true. Come here. I got a little secret for you. Come here. You see all those Teslas on the road? Yeah. 99% of them are financed. Do you understand? Guess what that means? What, LJ? You know where they go to charging stations? Since they couldn't afford the car, they can't afford to charge them. They got to finance the charge. Do you understand? They're financing it, credit cards. Do you understand? That's how it works. They don't listen. Come here. They don't know that. None of them do. The next time you see a Cybertruck, go up to the person in the Cybertruck. They're expecting people to walk up to them and praise them and all this other stuff. Listen, just go up to them and say, "Hey, man, did you get a pretty good interest rate on that?" If they say anything about an interest rate, it doesn't matter. It's not their Cybertruck. It's the bank's Cybertruck. The bank don't care about that stuff. Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys something that you'll never hear ever. Listen, when Tesla makes a Cybertruck, right? They can't charge you whatever they want. Do you understand that? They can't say, "Hey, we're going to make this Cybertruck. It's going to be $300,000," because the bank will step and say, we're not financing that for $300,000. Guess what? You got to drop the price because nobody can get it because they have no money. You understand? So it's up to the bank. So they're probably back there negotiating, "Hey, what we'll do this for, blah, blah, blah." And then they come with a price and then Tesla says, "Hey, we can sell this truck for this." Why? Because the bank agreed that they'll finance the truck for whatever they negotiated. You understand? It's not rocket science. It's not. All the car manufacturers, they can't charge you whatever they want to charge because if the bank says we're not going to finance that car at 300,000, guess what? None of you guys can buy it. Do you understand? Finance, excuse me. That's how it works. You think it, listen, when you get your brand new iPhone, do you really think that phone costs $1,500 to make? Absolutely not. You know why it's that price? Because you guys finance them, because you have no money to buy them anyway. It doesn't matter. But you guys will finance it. Sure will. You probably listen, you're probably watching this video on a finance iPhone right now. All you got to do is take a step back. Listen, take a step back and say, hey, I'm whatever age. How come I've been working for X amount of years. How come I can't afford to buy this iPhone in cash? How come? How come? How come every time I need to get a new phone, I have to finance every single one? How come? Because you're on the negative side of the economy. That's why. When you come to the positive side of the economy, let me tell you what comes with it. Peace. You're no longer scared of your mailbox or the IRS. Why? Because you're playing by the rules. You're playing by the rules. That's the only way you're going to become wealthy. Everybody has to know. Do you understand? Listen, this was in place before any of us listening on this video were ever born. It doesn't even matter what age you are right now. That's 100 years. Well over that. Couple hundred, almost 250. And you know what's wild? To be to actually, this is what's really amazing about it. You business owners, I want you to understand something. This was so amazing about it. I say it's a mathematical fact. Do you understand me? Mathematical fact by default means it's true. 1 + 1 = 2. No matter what anybody says, no matter if a black person says it, white person, Asian, Jewish, blah, blah, blah. If you even listen, if you said 1 + 1 = 2 and even brought up race, everybody would look at you and like, why are you talking about their color? It doesn't have anything to do with that. That's why. I'm telling you right now, that's why. Business owners, man, let me tell you something. As soon as you understand how it works and you get the right people, the IRS are going to know that, because you're going to flow. It's going to flow a different way. I promise you, it's going to flow. Because listen, I am sure, and this is just a guess, I don't work for them or anything, but millions of you are cheating. So that means they get so much practice of you guys doing the same damn thing over and over and over again, but a different way. Think you're slick because if you put it in this person's name, you guys got to stop thinking like that, because the numbers don't care who's what's and what's named. The numbers, you guys are doing it for money. Do you understand? As long as you're doing it for money, the math will tell them that. You understand? You're not tricking anybody. Don't come in cheating on your taxes, thinking you're doing. Because I'm gonna tell you guys something that this is just a dead giveaway, because you guys don't know it. If you've been in debt all your life, it's just been part of your life, automatically tells them, me, everybody, that you don't know something. By default. You don't know that you're owned, and you've been owned all your life. I didn't know. I didn't know I was owned until I got it. That's the only way I'm able to even talk to you guys like right now, because I didn't know I was owned that entire time until I freed myself. I'm like, oh shit, those are my papers. Yep. Those are my papers. Therefore, when you start cheating on your taxes and trying to do some stuff to not pay the money or get extra dinner or something, just stupid nonsense, just dumb, stupid nonsense. You guys all do that. When you try to, you ruin your personal credit, and then all of a sudden you go try to apply to a bank and then try to do some more credit. Do you guys understand? That is obvious. Do you understand? The first thing a bank is going to do is look at your personal credit report and see how you've been treating the business of yourself. You're not tricking anybody. Your personal credit report is going to tells the bank how you've been treating the business of yourself all these years. And if you've been treating yourself the way your credit report says it, you're definitely not going to treat any business outside yourself better than how you've been treating yourself. I can promise you that. That's a promise. So they're going to treat you accordingly. Like here's another one. When I go to TikTok and you know I hear these scammers, hey, this is what you do at Navy Federal. Navy Federal. Do you guys think Navy Federal is stupid or something? You think they don't know when you guys are coming to pull scams? They're probably charging you guys up the ass with fees and all this other stuff because they know you're going to be temporary because of what you're doing. All these videos going to Navy Federal. You think they don't know that you're making the videos and telling everybody what to? Come on, man. You guys got to stop thinking like that. Maybe that's it. Listen, maybe that's another way how they bring the physical slavery back into existence when you commit a federal crime. Do you understand? Think about it. You're free right now because you have not committed a federal crime. So you're free. Then you go and commit a federal crime. Now you're physically a slave. Do you understand? Because of yourself. People on the positive side would never do that. There's absolutely no reason to do any of that once you understand how it works. Absolutely no reason, nothing. You understand when you open a business, you you're not really paying taxes, but you're just basically collecting it and giving it to them. Debt slaves that go into business, they treat their business finances just the way they treat their personal finances because they know nothing else. So they go into business, they collect all these taxes that they're supposed to charge their customers, and they believe in their brains that not only get to keep their own money, they get to keep the taxes collected. No, you can't. You can't do that because you fell short on your bills and you couldn't pay your car note. That's not their fault. That's your fault. So when you go to the tax office and you see people standing in line to make payments on their taxes, those are obviously the people that don't understand how it works. You understand? You don't ever want to be in that line. Listen, if you ever go to the tax office, right, and you see somebody standing in the tax payment line, watch them till they go to their car. See if they step into a Lexus or a Mercedes Benz or something. You're like, that doesn't make sense. If you're stepping into a fancy car, fancy Benz, you should not be in the make payments to your taxes line. That's something's wrong. That's what you see when you come to the positive side of the economy. You think I'm lying? Go watch. Go see. Go to a tax office, look at the long line, and just watch what cars they go to. Are you crazy? Oh my God, they charge interest. And what's the interest on your car note? What about that? Oh, that's okay. Why? Because you got a car. All because you don't understand how it works. No, it doesn't. No. Mm-mm. If the word IRS or taxes, if that even puts emotion in you, that means you're probably not following the rules. Because if you was, you wouldn't we wouldn't feel like that. The goal is to own the majority, not the majority, all of the time in your life. That's the goal. That's the goal. All you got to do that. What's preventing me from owning myself, my time and my life, the God-given gift? What's preventing me from that? Oh, monthly payments. Yeah, you could start right there. And let me tell you something. If you've been in the working world all your life, okay, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 hours, and you've done this for years, let me tell you something. Once you come out of all that, and you see that system, and the pay and the mm, it's like now, so let me put it this way, and this is just me. I used to always, when I had a regular job, right? And I see the Asians, right? The Asians, and of course they're business owners, duh, right? But I used to always say to myself, there's something, I'm missing something. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to own my own business, blah, blah, blah. But I said, I'm missing something. It wasn't that I ever thought that they were more privileged, and just the people they just yip yap all this stupid nonsense. You got to ignore all that stuff, right? Don't believe all that. But I ignored all that. I just thought I'm missing something. They know something that I do not know. Because once you know this and understand that capitalism is psychological, positive, negative, you're going to naturally pass this down to your family. You're just going to, there is no other way. This is what you're going to do, period. That period. Because once you get out of it, once you get out of that working world and you see what you can do, what's possible, you're like, oh, that's why you guys live the way you live. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. What it is, they just trust the calculator when it comes to their finances. That's it. That's it. Now, most of you guys think it can't be that easy. Yes, it is. That's how simple it is. That's how simple it is. Luzon, why? Tell me something, and I'm curious. Why is wage slavery depressing? Why is it depressing? Tell me why you believe that is. That's because that's a belief. Why do you believe that? Why is it? Why? Listen. Why is slavery even a feeling in your body? Why is it a feeling? Because that's a feeling. Because when I hear wage slavery, the words, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't make me feel any way. It doesn't make me feel depressed or happy or sad. It doesn't make me feel like anything really. But why is that? Why is that? When you come to decide personally and business, if you own a business, you're going to dominate, especially if you already have the drive to work for yourself and build a company that respects their customers, and just doing it the right way, you will dominate. Now, you probably come across a person that you come across me and never heard anybody. That's true. You will not find another channel, at least that I know. 90, put it this way, I'm not gonna say never. 99% chance that you will never find another channel like mine on any platform on the internet. And what I'm telling you is are mathematical facts. That I just want you guys to put that together, okay? Everything I'm saying is mathematical fact. And if you come across this channel and you disagree with me, you're disagreeing with the calculator, and that doesn't matter to me. That's like somebody saying, I don't believe 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, then I would just leave the room, leave the area, whatever. That has nothing to do with me. Once you understand how it works, man, the drive in you to create your own business is like a burning fire because you know, hey, a job's not going to get me where I need to get to because I understand how it works. You think as the business, this somehow a person believes that as the business of themselves with a job, you're going to become rich. No, you're not. It's going to take a very long time. And then you'll believe all the stuff inside of, hey, if you're here for 10 years and then your savings will go up and then you might have $1 million, all predictions and talk and jibber jabber and all this other stuff. None of that listen, that's all part of the program. That's all part of the program. That if you believe it's going to take that long, if you believe it takes 30 years to buy one house, 84 months to buy one car, you can save for retirement. You can listen. If you believe you can do a debt-free screen while having a mortgage, you're in there. Do you understand that? I'm gonna say that one more time. If you believe you can do a debt-free screen while having a mortgage, okay, whatever. That's not, listen, none of that is mathematically true. Do you guys know that? That's not true. That's just called business. That's called business model. Do you understand? Whose fault is it if you believe you can do a debt-free screen with a mortgage? Whose fault is that? Yours. That's your fault. I want you guys to think about something, okay? If the people that do debt-free screens while having a mortgage knew they couldn't do that, how many debt-free screens would you see? Not many. Probably 5 a year, 6. 5 or 6 debt-free screens. That's bad for business. Do you understand? That would be very bad for business. Hey, we're free, everything but the mortgage. And okay, you can start putting, listen, start making up stuff. Okay, you can put some in the college and you can put some in the return. No, you can't. You can't do that. Listen, this is all you got to do. If you don't believe me, this is all you got to do. Bring up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal, right? And then while you're looking on the calculator, go to one of those videos. Go to one of those videos where they can tell you what you should do and can do while having a mortgage. And then you got to say to yourself, I don't have any money to do any of that. No, you don't have any money to do none of that. That's called business. Do you guys understand? Business. That's business. Nothing's wrong with it. Whose fault is that if you believe you can do something that they're telling you can do when the calculator's telling you that you can't? That's your fault. That's your fault. Do you understand? That's called business. It's so obvious. When you're out of that, you're like, duh. Your income is capped on a wage as well. And you are trading your time, which you can never get back. It's good to start out, but you have to get free and start on, okay. All right, let's go through your statement. Your income, listen, Luzon, you're telling me something, okay? Your income is capped. I'm not sure why you're accepting that, but that is most definitely one of the problems. Your income is capped. You got to figure out how to uncap it or something because there are no limits out here in capitalism. There's no limit. So for some reason, you've capped yours, okay? And you are trading your time knowing that you can never get it back. So you're making a statement. You know you're trading your time to something that you can never get back, but yet you're still doing it. Okay, because you can, like this statement, you can only be talking about yourself because that statement, everything in it has nothing to do with me. It doesn't apply to me, nothing, because none of that is true in my life because I'm choosing that. Okay? It's good for me to start out, but I have to get free and start my own business. Now, I'm gonna tell you what you're saying. It's good to start out, but I have to get free and start my own business. Yes, that's what you have to do. Yes, that's what you got to do. Listen, that's totally up to you, Luzon. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing. These are when you're in it. Yes, what I did was I had a job and I paid off all my debt first because I had no money to do it, so I had to work. I had to have a job. So what I did was to speed up the process, that something that many people can't do. I had to drastically reduce my lifestyle. So I went from a high-rise building, a stupid nonsense apartment that was ridiculously priced, to a room in my sister's house. That's what I did because I wanted to get free faster. So I said, I had a good income. If I drastically reduced my lifestyle, that means all that extra money that I was giving away to the buildings and I could put all that money to my pay off my debt, and did it faster. Now at that time, when I was getting out of debt, I didn't know that what was going to happen once I got out of debt. I didn't know that. I just thought I was going to be free of debt, and I guess I was going to feel different. No, it changed my whole entire life. Woke me right up. Sure did. I am surprised. Let me tell you guys something that most people don't. I am very surprised that tax professionals who are in personal debt, you know who you are. I am very surprised you guys have not have reached out to me, savingsminusdebt@gmail.com. I am very surprised. Because when you listen to me, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You're probably struggling with yourself. Because listen, if you're a tax professional, you must abide by the laws of mathematics. You must do that. That's a law. Not a human law, that's just the law, period. The laws of mathematics. You have to, there is no choice. So you know and understand what I'm saying. You've probably never heard nobody say it the way I'm saying it. Like here, you tax professional, I'm gonna show you guys something, okay? Listen. You know how, I'm gonna just call them debt slaves so you can understand. You know how debt slaves, say like you have a debt slave with a mortgage, okay? And they have a good job, and this year they're going to put $5,000 into their retirement plan, okay? And the IRS or the government says, hey, if you put money into the retirement plan, you could take that amount of money off of your annual income, therefore reducing you in your tax bracket. You know that? Okay, listen. But if you just open up the calculator and put in, if the person with the mortgage open up the calculator and take the $5,000 that they were talking about putting into the retirement plan, put in $5,000 minus their mortgage balance and hit equal, they would clearly see that they do not have, listen closely, they do not have $5,000 to put into a retirement plan to reduce themselves in the tax bracket. Therefore, debt slaves can never, ever, ever reduce themselves in taxes of anything. They don't know that. Now, you understand as a tax professional, you know exactly that what I'm saying mathematically is true. That's a fact. Yeah, you're right. They really don't have any money to get a tax. No, they don't have any money to do none of that. They just believe they do. Now, if you're a tax professional and you hear me say that and you're struggling with it, that's the part I could help you get out of that so you don't have to struggle with that and understand how it works. And you won't get that chitter chatter of, well, if everybody did it, the system wouldn't work. That's true. It wouldn't work. That's why it does work, because they don't know. You understand? You as a tax professional, I'm just talking about you. I'm not saying don't tell all your clients and this and that, because if you did that, you wouldn't make any money. Do you understand? So of course not. I'm just talking to you and for your life. You will understand this. You'll create a firm, and then you'll teach all the people in your firm this, and you'll be the best firm in the United States of America. Your own business, not working for another company or business or whatever. If say like you're a financial investigator, okay? For business, big business and small business, it don't matter. It doesn't listen. It doesn't even matter the size of it. Could be Walmart. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. If you want to be the best financial investigator, I guarantee you Walmart, you learn what I teach you, I guarantee you Walmart will pay you anything you ask for. Guaranteed. Look, they got customers stealing from them. They got workers. Listen, that guarantee you they pay you any amount of money if you can contain that. And you will be able to contain that. Easy. Easy. Not even a problem. You will name your price and then you'll show them because they're looking for people that understand the system. So, Brandon, I'm not sure why you're giving me I'm not sure why you're giving me pushback. Your life story agree. Well, see, and that's what I mean, Luzon. That's why I'm very careful what I'm saying. I'm not really giving you pushback. I'm just sharing something with you. I'm not saying that you disagree with me or anything. I'm trying to tell you with the words that you're using and the statements that you're making. I always tell people this: start with your credit report. If you ever want to understand, if you ever want to be free, if you ever want to be no longer scared of your mailbox, you will have friends around you that want to uplift you, encourage you to create your own business. You'll meet a totally different type of people. You will remove all the negative people from your life, because once you become to the positive side of the economy, you only accept positivity in your life after that. You will only accept that. So what is that? That would mean remove all the people that are not positive. Your whole friendship, family, everything in dynamic is going to change. It's going to be hard at first because it's going to be people that you love. It's going to be family members, all that stuff, but they have to go because you guys will not reside in the same perspective of life anymore. That's period. It just won't happen anymore. That's an automatic. And then the people that understand, you will speak a different language, and they will hear you speak in a different language, and then they will accept you with open arms, because that's how they know what it takes to get here. The best part about it though is the peace, man. The peace. It's quiet. There's no problems. There's no negativity. Removing negative people. I did not realize how important it is to remove negative people from your life. That includes family members. That includes family members. It will bring a peace to your life like, it's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing. And then when you stand outside of the matrix and you see people, most of them are doing it to themselves and they don't even know it, right? Believing with, like, you're in traffic and you believe while you're sitting in this traffic that there's nothing you can do about it. What else can I do? There's nothing. That's part of the trap, to make you believe that there's nothing you can do about it. Yes, you can. If you stop looking at the people outside of you, and I know it's very hard because when you've been in debt all your life, you don't know who to believe and trust, who got money, who doesn't. The easiest way to do it, right, is to see their personal credit report, but not many people are going to show you their personal credit report. That is the easiest. That will tell you who's faking, who's lying immediately, just like that, immediately. Okay, but people don't know that. I strongly suggest this though: if you get in a relationship with someone, or you start thinking it's going somewhere, ask to see their personal credit report. Remember, if you asking for theirs, you got to show them yours. Okay, but I promise you, young people, listen. Usually, the physical starts first, and the physical gets in there and starts disrupting visions and starts. I don't care if you've already gone there, ask to see their personal credit report first, right now, while it's early. If they get offended, if they start going off, take a step. Now, remember, when you ask them this question, there's a couple things I want you to look for, okay? There's a couple things I want you to look for. Look for their initial response when you ask that question. Do they go crazy? Do they get mad? They're showing you themselves. They're showing you who they are that they've been probably hiding from you. Okay. It's real quick though, because listen, they're probably 9 times out of 10, they probably have never had a person ask them that question before. Okay. But then if they start getting all offended, why? Hey, you're out of here. See ya. Get rid of them. Because if a woman asked me that question, I'd be happy. Oh yeah, because I would know right away why she's asking me that question. Let me see. If a woman came to me and said, "Hey, I need to see your credit report first," I would know immediately why she's asking me that question. No problem. Here, there you go. Promise you that. You're going to save yourself. Oh man, let me tell you something. I've never been a liar in my life, just a natural liar. I'm not saying that I've never told a lie. I'm saying I've never been a natural liar, lying for no reason. There's a difference, I promise you. People lie. No one will ever know why a liar lies. Nobody. Cat Williams said that. Nobody will ever know why a liar lies. That's a fact. I'm going to save you so much heartache, problems. Ask to see their personal credit report. After you listen, this is when, and I'm gonna give you some smart advice. First of all, everybody always tries to impress another person in the very beginning. Let them talk, because people love to talk about, especially about money. Talk. Let it go on for a couple weeks as you get to know them, and then spring the question on. I want to see your personal credit report because this is just what I do, blah, blah, blah. Let's see how it happens, see how the conversation goes. If they disappear, they did you a favor. If they get all irate and start going crazy, they did you a favor. They showed you who they are right now, early today, so you can just cancel them. See ya. You don't believe me? Try it. Do it. I'm gonna save you guys so many. That will save you so many problems about liars and fight cheaters and just a personal credit report says a lot about a person. I'm not saying it says everything, but it says a lot. Sure does. Somebody come up to you, oh, you single? Yeah. Are you married? No. And then you look on the credit report and they're clearly married. Oh, I didn't want to say nothing because, I thought you wouldn't. You're right. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have dated you. If somebody, hey, listen, if a woman says, oh, yeah, I'm married, but I'm in separate, see you later. I don't care. You don't need to go any further. I don't need to know why, what. Listen, if you decide to legally tie yourself to a person for years without getting a divorce, that's between you and him. That has nothing to do with me. Nothing. Sex confuses things, add problems. None of that. None of that. What's up, Jacquees? That's what I do. I show people where to find the cost to own themselves. That's where I show people. Where's the cost? On your credit report. It's right there. Now, if you see the price and you're not willing to pay it, I got some bad news for you. You're going to remain in the debt matrix until you're dead. Forever, forever making payments to something that you've never owned. Like forever going around, let's say it like this. There are people like me that walk around amongst you. They have jobs just like you. But when they hear you guys talking about pulling equity, getting equity loans and a second mortgage, two mortgages on one house, I guarantee you those people are not talking to you. They automatically know you don't have no knowledge of anything. Because first of all, a mortgage cannot buy a house. And if you have two mortgages on one house, that means you doubly don't know. Double don't know, double know, whatever. And if you're at work and you're talking about this, which people always do, they always tell me, "Oh yeah, man, I put some equity out, my equity in my house." There's no equity in a mortgaged house. And if you're standing next to a person that's your job, they know you don't know nothing about money because equity doesn't exist in a mortgage house, only for the bank, not you, because you had no money to buy the house in the first place. How you can't listen. If you don't have any money to buy the house, how are you going to have equity in the house? When you have no equity, you didn't put any equity in it. The only way you put equity into a house is you buy it in cash. That's the only way to do it. But if you're at work talking like this openly in front of people, you don't know who's around you that understands this. I'm going to give you a hint of who these people might be at your job. I'm going to give you a hint. The coworker that's not begging for overtime all the time. They're not constantly begging, "Oh, can I get this day off? Can I have it?" They're never begging for overtime, ever. They probably have a older car that's maybe, 5, 6, 7 years older, but it's really, really clean. You could tell it's well maintained, because when you have no payments, maintaining a paid off car is easy. It's easy. What else? Say like you are in the computer industry, the IT industry, and you have a coworker that carries two phones because he absolutely refused to tie his personal phone to the work phone. He or she is probably that person too, because they know better than that. And you're probably thinking, as an IT person, what does that mean? Let me tell you something. When you got hired on to the business or whatever, the phone says they can call you 24 hours a day, or did it not? Because that's what it means. You think they're paying for your phone because they like you? No, so they can have 24-hour access to you for free. When you answer that phone after hours, you're answering it for free. Do you understand? You're probably just like all the other IT engineers, scared to leave it at different places upstairs and downstairs in the house. You always got to keep it. That's a 24-hour chain. Sure is. You better not tie your phone to the personal phone to nope. Listen, say like you're an IT person who's not on call and you work from 8 to 5, okay? If you kept your phone separate from the work phone, there's no reason to bring the work phone home with you because you're not working. Do you understand? You're not working. Why would you bring the work phone home if you're not working? If it's 5 o'clock and you have a work phone and it's 5 o'clock, you power it down and put it in the desk. Because they didn't tell you in your contract that they can call you anytime after 5 when they feel. No, they didn't. Of course not. You never, that's the person, look for that person at work. Who, what else is a good, let me see. Never begging for overtime. Um, they're probably not always rallying up in the corner to talk about the boss or the managers and stuff like that. They don't talk about stuff like that because they don't allow that. People who have jobs but no personal debt, they don't allow to be disrespected at work. They don't allow it because they don't have to allow it. Notice how every time the boss comes to a particular person, the boss changes when they talk to a particular person. Pay attention to that person at work. Jacques says, didn't mind living with my parents because, oh, I think he meant to say parents, because I'm saving money and paying off debt. But they just got a puppy a month ago that doesn't shut up, might leave. That's true. Well, you gotta, it counts on, listen, it counts on your goal. If you're close to your goal to leave, good. Okay. But if not, just you're gonna have to deal with the puppy. Just think about the goal. But if you're ready, go ahead. But just take your time, go look at some good places. You don't have to go crazy or nothing like that. Crazy with a high rent apartment, meaning. That's what I'm meaning. Driving a paid off car and having more than enough for gas is amazing. Congratulations, Dark Knight, for sure. I've been trying to tell that story for years. And this is listen, I want, especially with the people with the paid off cars, I want you guys to listen to this, okay? Gas prices are different for every person that pulls up to the pump. Okay, so say like this. Say like the gas price, let's just say $4. Okay, we're just gonna keep round numbers. A person, like when you have a paid off car, you pull up to the pump and you're gonna use your debit card or your credit card because you're gonna pay it off at the end of the month because you have the money to do it, right? $4 a gallon is what you pay, the person with the paid off car. But when a person with a car making payments, you got to remember this, they didn't even have the money to buy the car because that's why they financed it. And if they don't have the money to buy the car, guess what? They also don't have the money to put the gas in it. So they have to finance the gas. So the price of gas for a person with a financed car is $4 plus the interest rate of their credit card. Do you understand? So they finance gas because they didn't have the money to buy the car in the first place. People with finance cars don't know that. People with electric cars, they don't know that. You think all these people with finance Teslas do you think they know that they're financing electricity or charging power or whatever that is? They don't know that. At the interest rate of their credit card. So whatever the money is for the Tesla price for charging, that goes to Tesla. The bank pays Tesla. Here's your money, Tesla. They take responsibility of that money and add their interest rate of whoever's, so it counts on whoever's putting that in, it's going to the interest rate of their credit card. Every price of everything is different. That goes for everything. Think about it. We understand how, what'd you say there, Dark Knight? We understand how scary it is to move when you say you have money and you don't have, yeah, that's true. You understand the seriousness of it now. And that's a good thing. You use that. It's insanity. I honestly think about being a debt is like an addiction. Oh, it is. But remember, Dark Knight, that's part of the program. Okay. Listen, I want everybody to listen to this. Without debt slaves, capitalism could not exist. That's why it's the most popular economic system around the world, because debt slaves are the center of it. They're the engine. Without debt slaves, without debt slaves financing their whole lives, not owning nothing, and they don't know it. They're the engine. It must be that way. Like I keep saying, you can't do a debt-free screen while having a mortgage. Yet thousands and thousands of people are. They are the engine. Do you understand? They have to believe that they can do a debt-free screen while having a mortgage. They have to believe they can own houses. Listen, nobody's hiding anything. It's the American dream. Everyone knows that you have to be asleep to dream. So if you believe you can buy a house with a mortgage, you are obviously dreaming, and you don't know you're dreaming. It's not a secret. None of this is hidden. None of it's a secret. They say it. Listen, they say it right in your face. Hey, come get a piece of the American dream. If you have no money and you can't get it, but if you think you can buy it with a mortgage, you're obviously dreaming. That's it. No, nothing personal. I can always tell one of the debt slaves driving a car. They have the name of the place where they finance the car around their tag. Sure do. Ain't that crazy? They sure do. Yes, they do. They tell you, listen, they tell you with stickers and, hey, I financed this car. Sure did. You sure did. And it's not really difficult. Just think people that have regular jobs. When you see somebody pull up with the same job you have, you know they make around the same money you do, but they pull up with a brand new Cadillac Escalade. Automatically should tell you that they did not buy that Escalade in cash because you know they couldn't afford it. They can't do that. So automatic is financed. That's finance. And here's another one for most of you guys, for the people that have a paid off car and they're jealous of another person getting a car every 3 years and all this other stuff. You think they have money. Listen, the majority of people that have leases like that, they're trapped. That's why they have to do this. They have to do it every 3 years because they cannot afford to get out of it. So they're trapped in these leases every single year. They're trapped. They can't get out. They're not going to tell you that they're so far upside down in their lease or fine, they can't get out because the only way to get out, you have to have money to get completely out. This is why banks allow debt slaves to roll negative equity into new car loans. So say like a car is worth 50,000 today and you're coming in with $15,000 of equity. So you're putting 15,000 on making it 65 for a car that's only worth 50, and then you finance it for 84 months. You're never getting out of that. That's the wheel. You just created the wheel that you're running on. You created it with that. That's how you get in there. That's why they allow you guys to roll negative equity into a new car loan. If you come in there, first of all, financing a car, right? And then you come in there to roll negative equity, you really don't know. You really don't know. And they're going to financially abuse you because you don't know. They're going to financially abuse you. That's why you're in the car place for 8 hours with your kiddie stands in over there so your kids can play. They're going to just wear you down to where you'll sign anything just to get so you can go home and show your friends, hey, look at my new finance car that I waited 8 hours in the dealership to. You better stop that. What's up, Robert? I can, oh, yeah. Okay. I'm about a year away. I'm cooked. I'm not sure what that means, Jacques. What do you mean? I'm cooked. Why would you be cooked? What's up, Robert, again? So, yep, Dark Knight says, it's a nightmare. My mother works so much to pay for a house we can't afford, and I want to be the one to change that, pay off her mortgage and let her retire. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. But you have to find out, what you might don't know, what kind of mortgage she has. Has she refinanced it a whole bunch of times? You got to really think about what you're saying. First, you got to know the balance, how much the house is worth and where the balance is at, because you might be so far underwater in that joint, it's not going to be worth it to do it. Better believe that. When you come to the positive side of the economy, the 99% of the houses you see are mortgaged. That means they don't own them, no matter what neighborhood they live in. If it's a rich neighborhood, a middle class neighborhood, or poor, if they have a mortgage, they have a mortgage. Here, let me give you an example of how you guys are traded. Debt slaves are traded. Because physical slavery is illegal, but psychological slavery is not. But you guys still have to be traded. Here's an example. Now listen to me closely. Mortgages buy people, not houses. I'm gonna say that one more time. Mortgages buy people. No, let me do this. This is better. Open up your calculator app and put in your mortgage payments minus your mortgage balance and hit equal, okay? Now, as you're staring at that large negative number on the calculator, I just want you to listen to the sound of my voice, okay? While you're staring at the calculator, not me. Mortgages buy people, not houses. That's how much they bought you for. They bought you for the price of a house, okay? When you're finally in there and you don't know, this is how you know you're owned. When you get new papers of your new owner that says, hey, you no longer send the payments to bank so-and-so, you send them to me. That means they just bought you. Notice how you don't have any say-so of when you're sold or purchased or bought. Why? Because you're a debt slave. That's why you don't know. You just get your new booklet and this is where you send the payments because you're a debt slave. You don't have any. But when you buy a house in cash, there's nobody trading you in the background. Nobody's going to ever say, hey, you have new owners. None of that happens. But since you're a debt slave, that's how you're traded. No questions asked. One day you get a letter in the mail and says, hey, we're your new owners. And you say, oh my God, nobody sent me. They don't have to. You're a debt slave. So what are you talking about? You think back in the days, physical slaves got to say that to their own? Hey, you can't sell me. You think that? No, that's the same thing here. You don't have no say so. You know that feeling you get when they send you, oh man, this is the 5th time they've been traded. Now I'm so confused and this, you don't have no say so. You just keep sending the payments. That's your job. You can live in it, say you own equity and call yourself a homeowner. Listen, if there's a person next to you, they probably haven't said it to you because I wouldn't say it to her. But if you live next to a person, you have the exact same house, but this person has a paid off house and you have a mortgage. Do you understand when you talk about equity and ownership, this person is just laughing at you because they know you don't own nothing. You're not like them. You're not like this person that owns their house. I promise you, you just don't know that. The homeowner knows you don't own equity of nothing. You don't, the house, oh man, you've been in it since 10 years. The house appraised this much. That only counts for the person with no mortgage and the bank. When you go look at Zillow or something and you see that the appraisal price of a house and you go look up yours and you have a mortgage, Zillow is talking to the bank. They're saying, hey bank, this is how much this house is worth. If you want to know, if you're curious, say like you have a mortgage and you're curious to see how much your house is worth, all you got to do is call the bank and say, hey bank, what's my balance? That's how much the house is worth for you. It doesn't matter what year you financed it. All you got to do is call the bank and say, what's my balance? That's how much the house is. You don't have to look up Zillow. Same thing if you want to figure out the value of your finance car. Just call the bank and they will tell you. I thought a 343 payment was high, but people gleefully saying that they have $1,000 car payments like it's a badge of honor. Yep, the higher, notice how debt slaves love to brag about their high car payment. Whoever had, listen, and you got to think about how they think. If you're a debt slave and you tell a person that your car payment is $2,000, the first thing other debt slaves are going to say, wow, he must make a lot of money because that's the only way he can afford it. Instead of thinking, wait a minute, if he's making a payment, that means he couldn't afford it. No. If you come, listen, debt slaves, if you come across a person that's bragging about a high car payment, that automatically tells you he or she could not afford the car because they're making payments to the owner, who is the bank. You understand? Here's the psychological part. The person bragging about the high car payment, everything is obvious. If they're bragging about a high car payment, they obviously do not know that means they couldn't afford the car. That's why they're saying it out loud in public. People with money, listen, people that have money, first of all, they would never finance a car. Second of all, if they did have it just doesn't make any sense. Because they're debt slaves. They don't know that. All you got to do is listen to some of these car shows about, they're showing off their car. The first thing they say is, as soon as you hear a person with a nice car say how much they put money down, stop listening to them anymore. Don't listen to them. Nothing. It doesn't mean anything. They just told you, no matter if it's a Corvette, a Mercedes, if they say, oh, I only put 10,000 down, just click it off. Next video. They can tell you anything. Then notice how they never tell you the interest rate they got. No, like it matters. It really doesn't matter. But when you see people doing that on videos, and there's millions of videos out there like that, they're only talking to the people that believe they can buy cars with car payment or with car loans. A lot of rich people lease cars or have car payments. They are just financially irresponsible, though. If you ever see a rich person with a lease payment, 9 times out of 10 is probably for tax purposes. So when I hear people say that, oh, some rich people, they have leases, well, that's probably true, but 9 times out of 10 is for tax reasons. It's not going to be the same as a person who is in debt. Like here, let me give you an example. When you hear Robert Kiyosaki always talking about debt, debt is how I get rich. This is how listen, okay, I want you guys to understand this. Debt slaves do not understand the difference between personal debt and business debt. This is a fact, okay? This is a fact. You guys, debt slaves believe all debt's the same. It's not. So when you hear Robert Kiyosaki, you will never hear, I've never heard him once make the distinction between personal debt versus business debt. Every time you hear Robert Kiyosaki talking, he's talking about business debt. You understand? Business debt. He gets rich. Yes, when you understand how it works, you definitely can get rich with business debt. He's not telling you that's the way he saved taxes, because people in debt cannot save money on taxes. That's the difference. You can also, taxes help you build wealth. This is the part of the system to keep you, it's designed to keep you participating. And then once you understand, it flows like a river. Now, if Robert had to stop and say that every time, hey, by the way, I'm talking about business, that'll just mess his whole thing up. Why talk about something that you guys don't even know about? Doesn't even make sense. What's business debt? Say like you open a business and the business needed a desk. Okay. You take the business card, you go buy a desk. That's called business debt. That's business debt. And it's really not difficult. This is what I want people to understand, so you don't have to get caught up in all the this. Hey man, what was this? It's really not hard at all. When you open, you have a personal account and you have a business account. You get a card for your business account and you got a card for your personal account. Whenever you go out to buy something, you know if you're buying something for your business or not. It's not really hard at all. You know whatever you're about to purchase, if whatever you're going to purchase is for the business, you pull out the card and pay for it. A lot of people make it more difficult than what it is. It's really not hard. You know what it is. It's not really difficult. And if it's ever questioned, you're like, oh yeah, sure, here, this is what I got. Here's the receipt. This is how I bought it. I bought it there. It's not really difficult. Listen, the truth always makes sense. The truth is easy to explain. It's not really difficult. It's always the same. No matter if somebody asks you 20 times, the truth is just the same. It's always the same. 20 years could go by. The truth is still the same. Okay, it's not really difficult. So a business credit card would count. Yes, that's the only, like for example, anytime I purchase something from my business, I use that card. It's wonderful for records. I only have to send one stat to the tax person, and that's it. Here's the money that went in. Here's the money that took out. Here's the money that was spent for this and that and that. Because everything's the same. Once you start a business, you usually start buying from the exact same people around the same amounts. And it's just a one, because once you start a business and say like you find somebody that has your product, they always have it. It's at a good price. You're always going to be purchasing that from person for probably years. Who knows? As long as that person keeps doing business well with you. And then this pattern will be inside of your business account. And then every year that you give your taxes to the business account, it's going to be exactly the same. It's not even going to be hard for them. You're going to make their lives easy. When you understand how it works, when I bring you to the positive side, you create a certain pattern that tells all the players that you understand how it works. Everybody understands you know how to play. You will stand out. I promise you this. You will stand out from every accountant, every business accountant, every personal person that does your taxes. You will stand out. This is what I do to help people. Because you have to free yourself physically. If you've been in debt all your life, guess what? You've never been free, ever. 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 Now, most of you guys, not most of you guys, some of you guys have some deep, deep student loan debt. Let me tell you something. How you going to get rid of that? I'm going to tell you how to get rid of it, okay? If you don't pay that debt off, you're going to be a debt slave until you're dead. That's how you get rid of it. You will never, ever, ever, ever be able to feel this freedom that I'm trying my best to describe to you. You'll never be able to feel it, ever. Now, if you're cool with that, with never knowing, there's nothing else for us to talk about. If you're cool with that. But if you ever want to be free, there's nothing like it. If you're a business owner, you will dominate. If you're a person, an ambitious person that has something in you and you're trying to create, this will help you. This is a tool. Sure will. You'll naturally surround yourself with the right people, in the right place at the right time, always. I can't even explain to you how many times if SMD followers have been following my life for a long time, like 10 years. It took me a long time to get here. Sure did. Sure did. Now I guess it's time for me to just to pass it along for those who are listening. And these are the only people that I'm looking for. Let me tell you who I'm looking for. I'm looking for the people that are wandering around knowing that something's wrong. No matter what they do, even starting your own business, because that's the first thing you think. You know, if you worked all your life, you think owning my own business is the way out. Yes, yes and no. When you don't understand how it works and you create a business, most people just create a different job for themselves. They just create a different job. They don't know that they do that. They don't know that you must first start the business of yourself. You must first start with you. Once you start business with you of yourself, and then when you create your own business, it's totally different. Totally different. Totally different. Totally different. You'll be freer. I mean, it counts on your business and how you run it, but you do it right. Make sure everybody gets their piece or whatever, right? Because it's all coming. Listen, all the money. This is how you understand taxes. Or this is how you can never pay taxes again. Okay. Once you take yourself out of capitalism and you put your business in there, a successful business, your business pays for everything, people, everything, including your taxes. Do you understand? You're not paying the taxes. Your business is paying the taxes. It's paying your electric bill, your food, your trips, everything. That's how you legally don't pay taxes anymore. Do you understand? As long as you're using yourself to participate in the economy, you're going to always be paying taxes because you're using yourself. When you get your check and you're like, oh my God, look at all these taxes being taken because you're using yourself. Of course you're going to be taxed. You think you're going to participate in the system for free? Absolutely not. No, you have to pay. But you can choose to put a business in the cap. You can choose to put a business in there and not yourself. It's a choice. I'm only sharing something with you of something that I never knew existed until I freed myself. That's the only time I know this information. There's no way for me to tell you about something that I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know this existed. Even though, there we go. Yeah, you can't really tell who's telling the truth and who's not telling the truth about money. It's hard to tell when you're in the debt matrix. You can't really tell because you only go by physical things. But once you get out of it, it's not like that. It's obvious who's not telling the truth about their money. It's obvious. Probably misused it in the business. Yeah, it's you know what? If you want to, you can listen to a business owner once you understand this, okay? They don't know that, the people. I could listen to a business owner and tell you if this is just a debt slave who's a business owner. Because you got to remember, if you're a debt slave personally, the bank owns you. If you're a debt slave in business and you're still paying all these loans, the bank owns you. They own them personally and business. The bank knows who is doing business right with them. Automatic. Like, here's an example. If I went into the bank to get a business loan, the first thing they're going to do is run my personal credit, okay? When they run my personal credit report, guess what they're going to see? Nothing. They're going to see no business or bank owns me. That's the first thing they're going to see. At 55, they're going to automatically know that I know by my person. Because my credit report says I own the business of me. It's clear. It's clear, bank. I understand. So they understand if I'm there for a loan, they know I'm coming for the best. I'm only going to accept the best rate, whatever that is. Nothing less than the best. That's automatic. Because I'm there for a specific purpose. It could be for tax reasons. It's just part of playing the game. Not a big deal. They just, that's how it flows. That's to keep people participating, right? If I want to save taxes, get a loan, do this, whatever, that's for the tax person. Hey, tell me what I need to do. All right, cool. I put the money there for that. Period. That's all I need to know. The bank's going to know that only people with money can save money on taxes. If you're in debt, you cannot save money on taxes. You can't. I know it looks like that when you put some money into your retirement account and then they take off that same money, blah, 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 blah. That's none of that is mathematically true. You can't do any of that. None of that. If you have a mortgage or student loan debt, you can't do none of that. You can't save for retirement. Say like your retirement plan is brand new and you just started your job this year, but your student loans are 20 years old. You don't have any money to put in the retirement plan. Do you understand? But if you don't know that, you just don't know that. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Any questions before I leave? Let me ask them. Any questions before I leave? Any questions? Any questions? Well, Luzon, you're talking about put it this way. I know Dave Ramsey probably says that, but when you make money like Dave Ramsey, you have to participate, else you're going to get taxed up the ass if you don't. Okay, that's just how it works. If you that keeps making you taxes as a say like you make a lot of money and you decide that you want to just take all the money and just keep it. That means you're no longer participating. So since you don't want to participate, you're going to get taxed for not participating. But if you participate this particular way, you'll save some money on this and that, and then you'll just do it. Okay, I'm going to get a loan instead of using my, whatever. People just, but again, if you've been in debt all your life, this is a mathematical fact, okay? If you've been in debt all your life, you don't know how taxes work because you can't. If you've been in debt all your life, you can't even save money on taxes. You cannot reduce anything because you have no money to do that. Once I bring you to the positive side and you understand that, then you know how to participate in all the things to save you money on taxes and when and why and what. But as long as you're in debt, you don't understand taxes, you never will, because it's mathematically impossible for you to. That's a fact. That's a mathematical fact. You don't believe me? And I want to make sure I'm not a tax professional or anything. I want you to do this, okay? So go to your credit report. Write down your total debt on a piece of paper. Okay, write it down. It's going to be a large negative number, including your student loans, your mortgage, everything. The total debt is usually in there somewhere. Write it down on a piece of paper. Go to your tax professional. Don't even take my word for it. Go to your tax professional and you say just like this, and this is how you must say it. Mathematically speaking, if I have this much debt, is it really, can Can I still invest in my retirement plan if I have this much debt? Your tax professional will have to tell you no if you start with mathematically speaking. Why? Because those are the laws of mathematics. They have to say that. And as soon as they say, as soon as they say no, I want you to think about me. I want you to say, LJ was right. I know I'm right. Nobody's above math. I'm telling you that today. Nobody's above math. Nobody can break the laws of mathematics. No human has ever broken the laws of mathematics. No human. SBIV says, so glad I paid my student loans. New administration is going to call for those payments and no sign of forgiveness. Nope, they'll never forgive those. They're never letting you guys go out of that. You might as well stop that. For over 5 years, interest free, and people didn't take advantage. Sure didn't. That was a gift by Biden. Sure was. 3 years. And you know what's so crazy about that? The way they framed, oh man. First, they started talking about refunding people, right? Paying off, promising to pay off certain people's debt, right? And then they brought up this refund. Oh, shoot, did I lose you guys? Okay, I must have lost you guys. They said, if you've made payments during the way they did it too. They said, if you made payments on your student loans during the 3-year interest-free, blah, 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 you can qualify for a refund. And then here is the economy going down, right? Say like you paid off $20,000, $30,000 in your student loan debt during that period of time of whatever. Obviously, if you're paying it down, money's good. You got a good job, money's coming in, right? And then a few years later, you don't have your job anymore. Okay, you don't have it, right? And times are hard. And then they thought, hey, if you made payments, you can get a refund. You know how many people did that? And you know what they said? Oh my God, I didn't know I had to repay it. They put them right back on the books. You hear me? They put themselves right back on the books. And then they're surprised. They freed themselves and then signed right back up to slavery. Sure did. Signed right back up. Only people that do not know would ever in a million years free themselves from student loan debt and put themselves, oh, they tricked me. No, they didn't. They didn't trick you. No, they didn't. They were just mad because you took yourself off the books. No more money to be made once the student loan debt is, then you put yourself right back on. Because, oh my God, I could use that money right now. They know that. That's why they offered it. No different when they send out credit card refinancing offers right when you're having a rough time. They already know that you're having a rough time because you're missing payments to them. So they know exactly when to send out a credit card to you or a house refinance or some stupid nonsense. Because all your financial life goes through the bank. Of course they know. They already know. Oh, wow, this came right on time. That's weird. What's up, Andre? Well, SPIV, it's just business. You can't take it personal. Requested a refund thinking the government was going to give back on the books at a higher rate. Sure is. They got that money right back. Sure did. Fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Crazy. When I saw that, I was like, refund? I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, refund from what? From the money that you paid in, interest free? Oh. And you know when they got that check? Spent. Right back on the books. Damn. Mm, mm. And then they get then they start making videos about it. Oh my God, I can't believe it was a what I mean, what do you even say? You didn't look at the calculator? What are you supposed to say? What are you supposed to say? That don't even make sense. How you say it, Andre? What does Andre always say? Andre says, master, no, checkmate. No, it's something else you be saying. I forgot what you always say something. I forgot what the word was. But when they do stuff like that, I'm just like in awe. You know what's so crazy? I'm gonna leave you guys on this. But once you free yourself, once I freed myself, everything becomes obvious. Just becomes now. Listen to this. Here's an obvious thing. This doesn't have anything to do with finances, but this is one of the obvious things that come to me. A football helmet is brain protection. It protects your brain from getting brain damage. From the brain damage you're causing yourself. Because the human skull that the God made is not strong enough to do this job, that whatever job you're trying to do, play football, something gets. So since the skull is not strong enough, here's a thing for brain protection. Now, if I sign on a dotted line agreeing to do a job that I need to wear something that's supposed to protect my brain from damaging my brain, knowing that I can't do anything without my brain. Without my brain, I don't exist. There is no LJ without my brain. I can live with one arm, one leg, foot, one kidney, but I only got one brain. And if I sign on a dotted line saying I agree to work here and I wear this so I can help not lessen the amount of brain damage that I get, obviously I'm not using it anyway. I'm not using my brain anyway, so I might as well just sign up. Is there some place you can buy a new brain, and how much does it cost? I don't think there's such a thing. I don't think it doesn't matter how much money you have. You can't buy a new brain. I've never heard of it. 7-Eleven? Costco? Last I've heard, God makes them. Only God makes brains. That's the last thing. And I don't think, yeah. Oh, it's so crazy to think about. I'm like, risking brain damage? Oh, hell no. Nope. Mm-mm. But the sad thing is this. This is what I think. I'm going to leave it, okay? This is what I can't look at anymore, okay? I can't look at it anymore, okay? I cannot look at Little League football anymore. I can't. Why is that? Because all of those little brains are still developing. Think about it. Think about a little kid's head. Obviously, the brain is still developing. Honestly, you could just look at their heads. They're not as big as our heads. So the brain is still developing. And then you put, man, I can't watch it. Can't watch it. I used to could watch it. Have my own kid in it. What? But today I can't do it. Can't do it. No, sir. Can't do it. Man, and it's still developing. You can tell me what you want to tell me. That don't mean nothing to me. That's obvious. That's one of those obvious things. That's one of my things, okay? But that comes when you free yourself. I don't really know how to explain that, but hey, whatever. Yep, hoping they make the big leagues. You're right. You're right, Omanike. You're exactly right. That money, put that price tag up there, Omanike. Here's how much money you're gonna make risking brain damage. Can you imagine what's in those contracts? You can't talk about this, can't talk about that, can't talk about this, can't talk about that. No, sir. I'm not doing none of that. I'm so glad, man. But that's one of those obvious things. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with just one of those things. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. It's 2 hours, man. Thank you for joining, everybody. Much appreciated. I might be doing a 6 cents one later. Okay, you guys, telling the whole story of something. So if you don't follow me, look. If you don't follow 6 cents, go over to my other channel at 6 cents. Number 6 IXTHCENTS. 6 cents. Look me up. I'll put it in this video once I leave here too. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. See you later.